Who's food? Who's food? Sorry. Sir,
Hello.
say hello.
Kumusta na?
Dinosaur here.
We're all present, Mr. C. Bless you.
Cayabyab fan club.
Yes, we are. Rabid fans.
Country known for its rich musical culture and blessed with a surfeit of musical talent, to stand out as singular and indispensable is truly remarkable. In the Philippines today, such a musical leader is Raimundo Ryan Buhante Cayabyab. Born in Manila, Ryan's family circumstances were modest, but theirs was a home filled with music, particularly since his mother, an opera singer, took in music students as boarders. Everyone in the house seemed to be either singing or playing an instrument, and Ryan grew up listening to classical music, opera arias, and traditional native songs. To help pay for his university studies in business, he took on side jobs as pianist or accompanist for musical artists. The parents of one such artist, impressed with his talent, gave Ryan a full scholarship to pursue a degree in music instead. From this point on, music would be his life work. Versatile, a consummate professional, and universally liked, Ryan Cayabyab is virtually omnipresent in the Philippine music community today. For over 4 decades, his contributions as a composer, arranger, music director, conductor, performer, and educator have been huge. Ryan started to write music in the late 1970s, making his mark when his composition, "Kay Ganda ng Ating Musika," How Beautiful is Our Music, won the grand prize in the first Metro Manila Popular Music Festival and in an international song festival in South Korea in the same year. He went on to win in other competitions and performed widely in the Philippines and abroad. He acted as conductor, arranger, and composer of the award-winning San Miguel Philharmonic Orchestra and Master Chorale. At home in diverse genres and media, chorale and orchestral works, musical theater, opera, and ballet, television programs, film scores, commercial recordings of popular music, Ryan has influenced the shaping of Philippine music culture. He is an iconic figure in the original Filipino music, or OPM movement, to promote a culturally distinct contemporary Filipino popular music. Starting in 1978 and continuing to this day with Philpop Music Festival, the OPM movement has spawned thousands of Filipino singers and songwriters. And over the years, Ryan has played a leading role in the movement as composer, trainer, performer, judge, and quite simply, as a powerful inspiration. Ryan is driven by a passion to mentor, educate, and contribute to the flourishing of Filipino musical talent. He has taught at the University of the Philippines, runs a music studio with his wife, and conducts free workshops for thousands of students all across the country. He is a moving force in the Philpop Music Fest Foundation and the Elements Music Camp, major initiatives dedicated to music training and promoting Filipino music abroad. Honored in 2018 as Philippine National Artist for Music, he was cited for his music that, quote, extols the exuberance of life and human happiness, thus capturing the very essence of our Filipino soul, end of quote. A guiding light to many, Ryan says, quote, the next generation should be better than us for our country to move forward. For this to happen, we must teach them everything we know at every possible instance. I like teaching, I like sharing what I know, and I like playing music. When I'm doing all these, I'm very happy, end of quote. In electing Raimundo Pujante Cayabyab to receive the 2019 Ramon Magsaysay Award, the Board of Trustees recognizes his compositions and performances that have defined and inspired Filipino popular music across generations. His indomitable, undeterred confidence to selflessly seek, mentor, and promote young Filipino musical genius for the global stage. And he's showing us all that music can indeed instill pride and joy and unify people across the many barriers that divide them.
Because of these remarks, it became even clearer to me why I wanted to teach. There really are no trade secrets. But even if there were, I would divulge them anyway. Teaching can transform lives. I want everyone I teach to discover their maximum potential. I also want them to be better than me. And because I think this was the basic track I wanted to take, I was able to influence many of my younger colleagues in the music industry to adopt the same vision, to enable the new generation of songwriters to be better than our generation, so that our music community can move forward, and thus bring the entire creative music industry to new heights, and hopefully help the country to move forward by becoming leaders and songwriters of new music for the world to hear. Another very compelling vision I share with many of my colleagues is this goal to make the Filipino public aware that our original music is not only a form of entertainment, but a living tradition. It is the binding glue that forms, strengthens, and positively moves the Filipino community, thus rendering it vital and essential to keep on making, promoting, and supporting Filipino-made music. Moreover, it contributes to the vibrant music movement happening in the entire Asian region, affecting the lives of its people. Thank you for this honor bestowed upon me. Thank you to the Board of Trustees. I share this award with all my colleagues in the music industry who tirelessly give their time to accomplish our goal of discovering and training future generations of creative songwriters, and to writing new works to contribute to the music literature of our country and the world.
are those who keep on fighting the good fight. Among us are true champions of the masses. This is what Ramon Magsaysay Awards is all about. This is what every Magsaysay laureate has stood for in the past 61 years. This is what it means to be Asian today. We live in an era where those who dare to expose the truth are browbeaten until they break apart. But Wen Win's indomitable spirit was no match for those who threatened his commitment to fair, independent, and ethical journalism. Instead of cowering in fear, he continues to lend his voice to the powerless, challenging the way religious and political institutions are run, and seeking redress for injustices committed against different minorities. We have seen how pain and tragedy have led to regret, remorse, and even disillusionment in families and communities. But Kim Jong-ki has shown us that grief can be turned into one of the greatest strengths we can ever possess. Hoping to address the growing cases of bullying and school violence, he brought together parents, teachers, counselors, and police officers to create safer and more caring communities for Korea's youth. In some societies, women still find themselves undervalued and ignored in the national discourse. But ang kana nila Paijit proved that Thai women can inspire movements, break barriers, and lead with great heart and mind. As a staunch advocate of human rights, she worked with civil society to defend the rights of women, children, asylum seekers, and refugees. She continues to challenge the legal system so that, as President Magsaysay once professed, those who have less in life will have more in law. The advent of social media has made it easier for trolls and purveyors of fake news to spread hate and tear societies apart. But Ravish Kumar remains undaunted and stands by the truth, even if it is unpopular to do so. For many years, his commitment to balanced and fact-based reporting remains a bastion of hope for the Fourth Estate. By creating platforms for effective dialogue and citizen participation, his brand of journalism serves as a window of hope and empathy for the entire Indian nation. Nowadays, populism and extreme nationalism are rearing their ugly heads in many parts of the globe, creating tears and divisions in our social fabric. But Raimundo, Ryan, Puhante, Cayabyab's music reminds us that what brings us together holds more power than the things that try to tear us apart. Half prayer and half battle cry. His melodies instill hope, pride, and unity in the nation's soul, teaching every Filipino to dream of a better world. His songs remind us that if we are willing to work together and toil to reach a common goal, what seems to be impossible will always be possible. That someday, our songs in some way will bring a bright tomorrow, full of love, full of hope, full of joy. Many times, heroism reveals itself in simple, everyday acts of kindness and compassion, of resistance and dissent, of generosity and joyful service. Our dear awardees, you have taught us to reassess our own values and to stand up in the face of abuse and injustice. In a world marred by poverty, inequality, and the breakdown of institutions, you have shown us that it is possible to find better solutions and hold leaders accountable for their actions. That we can build kinder and more nurturing communities for the next generation. Our dear awardees, you have shown every man, woman, and child in our region how to live with courage undaunted. Ladies and gentlemen, as we stand on the shoulders of these Asian giants, we find more reasons to keep fighting and doing the work that needs to be accomplished. Just as we pay tribute to the great Ramon Magsaysay, we celebrate the life and legacy of these 5 great souls, our wellsprings of perpetual hope and titans of compassion and transformative leadership in Asia.
Our awardees of Undaunted Courage, the 2019 Ramon Magsaysay Awardee.